So an 0-1 count to Paolillo to start this game. 11 sets. Throws, and it's in the dirt. Ball one this time, so a 1-1 count. Looks like we're going to see a number of lefties in the starting lineup once again, just as we saw with Reading yesterday. 3 out of Medford's first 4 hitters are lefties as the pitch comes in, and it's fouled to the backstop for strike 2.
Definitely going to see a pitcher's matchup today. Only 3 runs scored from Brookline yesterday, 1 from Medford, so it's going to be up to the batters to get things going early.
Absolutely. Forecast for today is a pitcher's duel with plenty of wind. As the pitch comes in, and it's high for ball 2.
And that wind affects everyone. You know, it's tough on the mound. Those fly balls get carried. You know, the turf levels the playing field, but not easy for these guys.
2-2 pitch from Levin. Just low, ball 3. And you talk about that turf. It levels the playing field both literally and figuratively. So I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good way to phrase it. Full count to Paolillo. The payoff pitch from Levin. And it's high for ball 4. Medford starts off with a base runner, and now coming up next, the second baseman, number 16, Sean Nestor.
Jake's really a guy that lives by painting spots and hitting locations, and if he can't settle in early in this game, we're going to see some action for Medford.
Levin checks the runner at first. His first pitch to Nestor, the runner goes. It's a high ball, throw down, they got him! Great throw down to second by Jasper Reed, and a nice swipe for the tag by shortstop Caleb McGrath.
What a great throw by Reed there. McGrath was able to tag him almost in that back right leg where it seemed like the runner could have gone in there, but just a great throw was able to get the play done.
Count is 1-0. The pitch is fouled off down the left side. Brage Golding on his horse out in left field, trying to chase it down, but it was out of play.
If anyone had a shot at that ball, it's Brage. That guy is the fastest person at the field today.
So the count is now 1-1 to Nestor. He had a man on with nobody out a second ago, but now has nobody on and 1 out, thanks to some heads-up defensive play by Brookline. 1-1 pitch from Levin. In the dirt, ball 2. You know, this reminds me a little of what we saw with Caleb McGrath yesterday. He was struggling to find his spots early, but then once he settled in, you know, thanks to some good backup from his defense in the early game, he was able to hold Reading at bay and keep the game going. 2-1. Swung on and connected. He lines it over the shortstop's head and into left field. So a single for Nestor. And now coming up, the shortstop, number 42, Matt Mitchell.
It's funny to think it took Caleb a few innings to settle in, but you saw 6+ innings of really good pitching from him in that 12-inning game yesterday.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He lasted a total of 8.1 innings for a very lengthy no decision, as the first pitch into Mitchell is outside for ball 1. Sean Nestor standing at first. Levin checks the runner, checks again, sets, throws back, and Nestor dives back safely. Think about how dangerous it is to get a runner on early in the inning, and you think about if Paolillo hadn't been caught stealing, that single left center could have either put runners on the corners or perhaps even brought in a run. Another throw down to first, and again Nestor is back safely. The count is 1-0 to Matt Mitchell with 1 out in the inning and a runner on first here in the top of the first inning. Levin with the pitch. High and inside, ball 2.
Brookline's got a very stout defense. You saw yesterday there are very few plays, other than that miscommunication in right field, that they didn't make, and it looks like we're going to see a bit of that today as well.
Certainly any one defensive mistake could be costly. There's another throw down to first, and he's safe again.
Levin not taking any chances over at first base.
Definitely not. I mean, when you send the first base runner out to steal, you know that they're ready to play the small ball and get aggressive as the pitch is in, and it's high for ball 3. So a 3-0 count to Matt Mitchell. Last time Medford played against Brookline, Mitchell went 1 for 4 with a strikeout and an RBI. Levin sets. Throws back to first once again. And once again, Nestor dives back. You know, I almost figure at this point you got to focus on throwing strikes, because if you throw a fourth ball, it doesn't matter whether you kept the guy from stealing second or not. Pitch is high for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Matt Mitchell.
And you saw in that count, Levin using a few slide steps, just showing how concerned he was about that runner. You know, this early into the game, I think that the primary concern is the batter, and with a guy on first, 1 out, you really should be focusing on the stuff that you have, because we've seen how effective Jake Levin can be on the mound.
Well, we've got a meeting on the mound now between Levin, his catcher Jasper Reed, and his head coach John Busey. And coming to the plate, another lefty hitter for Medford. And this is their starting pitcher, number 12, Mike Nestor. Nestor, the last time he hit against Brookline, he went 0 for 2 with an RBI sac fly. Got Medford its first run in the first inning of that game. His first inning was tough for Levin at that point, too. He's now got runners on first and second with 1 out in the inning. Levin with the pitch, he shows bunt, and he pulls back for a high pitch, and that'll be ball 1.
Shown for a bunt with 1 out. Definitely an interesting tactic, because you get the guys to second and third, but you're stuck with 2 outs.
Yeah. Certainly is a bold, aggressive strategy. As Levin winds and delivers, high and outside, ball 2. I mean, when 2 of the first 3 batters have been given free passes down to first, you'd almost think, hey, let's just see what he gives us. But Medford not hesitating as Levin steps off the bag. Count is 2-0 to Mike Nestor. Sean Nestor stands at second, Matt Mitchell at first. Pitch. Swung on and fouled down the left side. That'll make the count 2-1.
Really is the ideal situation for your cleanup hitter here. Early in the game, got some guys on base, only 1 out. You know, go make some damage.
We'll see if that damage can be made, as we've got a 2-1 count to Nestor. Levin winds and delivers. He connects on this one, and he sends it out to center field. Andrew Silverman tracking it out in center, and he makes the catch for Brookline. Throws it back into the infield as Sean Nestor tags and runs down to third. Mitchell holds it first.
And Jesse, what we saw there, that was the wind taking the ball early on. Andrew Silverman, it almost looked like he was slowly jogging as if he was under it, but he almost broke out into a full sprint when the wind took it. So that's definitely going to be a factor throughout this whole game.
And now we've got another left-handed hitter. This is number 32, Barry. As Levin sets, delivers, runner takes off, and they throw down to third to check Sean Nestor over at third, but Matt Mitchell takes second as the first pitch was in for a strike. 0-1 the count, second and third with 2 outs. Pitch, high and inside, ball 1.
Saw a lot of those high fastballs from Brookline yesterday. Fooled a lot of Reading batters.
1-1, currently the count to Barry as Levin winds and delivers. Curves in there for a strike. And that's what they really like to mix those high heats with, is those balls that then dip down into the zone. 1-2, the count. 2 down, second and third here in the top of the first. Levin with the pitch. He fouls this one over the backstop. Stays alive at 1-2.
And then following up with another fastball up and out. I'm very curious to see what he goes to here, still ahead in the count, 1-2.
Maybe he'll try and fool him low with a curve or a slider that dips below the strike zone. Pitch, and he sends this one foul down the right side.
Bit ahead on that one.
Yeah, which is weird because it didn't seem like that much of an off-speed pitch. It seemed almost close to a fastball, and yet he still got ahead of it. That's the thing about Levin. He doesn't have the fastest pitches, but like you said, the placement, the movement, that's where he specializes.
And his pitch today is going to be the changeup. That's what he's going to need to get a lot of these batters out.
1-2, the count. Pitch. Outside, ball 2.
Just missed his spot.
Yeah, that seemed like one of those pitches just kind of hung, like he was hoping for a curve into the outside corner. Just didn't get it. 2-2, the count to Barry. Pitch from Levin. Ooh, did it catch the zone? No, it didn't, and he didn't swing. Reed was getting ready to trot to the dugout, but Ump said nope, low and outside, ball 3.
That's one of those pitches just a bit outside, almost a challenge to the hitter. Go out and get it or try and stay back.
Full count now. Payoff pitch. He swings and connects, lines it past the first baseman. This is going to bring in a run, possibly 2. Sean Nestor comes in to score. Matt Mitchell comes in standing up, and Medford strikes first.
Tough play at first base. You know, ball almost curving towards him, and it looked like Martel almost flipped his glove over from backhand to front hand and just got caught in a tough position.
Jack Martel playing at first base, not able to make the grab to end the inning on a tough line drive by Barry that drove in Nestor and Mitchell for the game's first runs. Scores 2-0, and now batting is McInerney. Pitch. He swings, connects on his first one, sends it out to center field, and it's caught by Silverman for the 3rd out of the inning. So Medford able to do some damage in the top of the first. They take an early 2-0 lead, also known as many runs as they scored in the entire 9-inning game the last time they played Brookline.
Stop. Hold on. Stand by. And... Hold on. Why not come off, Chris?
Yeah.
You're going to continue talking like you were talking the whole time, okay?
Okay.
Stand by. Ready? And stand by. And go.
So Medford with a 2-0 lead as they doubled up their regulation total from that regular season finale they played against Brookline, which of course ended in a 9-inning 2-1 final. And now we get ready to start the bottom of the first. Brookline coming up against Medford's pitcher Mike Nestor, a southpaw pitcher. You don't see many of those in this league. And the last time he pitched against Brookline, he went 4 innings of relief, gave up 1 earned run on 4 hits with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts, averaging 2 strikeouts per inning. This guy throws heat, let me tell you.
He was incredibly effective in his last outing against Brookline, and it was a bit surprising that he didn't start the game, coming in behind a righty perhaps to make that matchup a bit more interesting. You know, when you go from that right arm to left arm slot, it's tough for hitters to adjust, so I'm definitely curious to see how Brookline reacts, not having to get used to one pitcher and then having another one come in. This time, you're facing him right from the get-go.
We'll see how that works out, starting with Brookline's first 3 hitters. Leading off, the second baseman, number 1, Owen Roach. Batting second, the third baseman, number 8, Rocco Shorgy. And in the 3-hole this inning, the right fielder, number 16, Aiden Chin. So first to the plate will be Owen Roach, and he is still looking for his first postseason hit. Currently 0 for 15 in the playoffs, but we'll see what he is able to do today. Last time he played against Medford, he went 0 for 2 with a pair of walks and a strikeout and a stolen base. Wait, I think I'm reading that wrong. I am reading that wrong. They had a different lineup that day. He went 1 for 2 last time he played Medford. First pitch from Nestor. Just low, ball 1.
He's in a bit of a funk, but definitely keeping that confidence and just getting ready for the next AB.
1-0 pitch is low for ball 2. Of course, Roach, the hero on the mound yesterday, he got the win after pitching 3 shutout innings of relief to close the door on Reading. 2-0 pitch is high for ball 3. So Roach early on in a good position to reach base safely for the first time in some time. 3-0 pitch. Just catches the zone, strike 1.
He throws fast, but we've only seen fastballs so far. Sometimes guys can get used to that.
3-1 is low for ball 4. Owen Roach trots down to first base with a free pass.
I try and not be biased, but it definitely puts a smile on my face to see my brother down at first again.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 8, Rocco Shorgy. And Nestor throws over to first, and Roach dives back safely. You got to be careful when you got a southpaw on the mound when you're at first base because it's just that much easier of a throw. First pitch, Shorgy. In there, strike 1.
That's definitely the case, but you can almost get used to his move. You saw there when he actually delivers, it's a different move than his look at first.
And the second pitch curves into the inside corner for strike 2. As another thing they'll have to get used to is the ball curving a different way from the way it usually does with a righty. 0-2, the count to Shorgy. The pitch comes in, swung on and missed, and Shorgy goes down on strikes.
And we saw another slide step there by the pitcher, so he is absolutely concerned about the leadoff hitter on first right now.
Now coming up, the right fielder, number 16, Aiden Chin. Pitch from Nestor. Just a bit high, didn't curve in time, ball 1.
It's a good looking pitch. You know, sometimes the ump doesn't give you that high curve, but if he can locate that, that'll make a huge difference.
1-0 the count. Pitch. Oh, he swung around. He didn't want to, but he did, and that'll be a 1-1 count. Aiden Chin, in yesterday's game against Reading Red, he went 0 for 3, but reached base 3 times on a pair of walks and a hit-by pitch, as the next pitch is high and inside for ball 2.
He is bringing the heat early.
Nestor checks the runner at first. 2-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. 2-2 the count. 1 out, runner on first. Nestor with the 2-2. No, he throws over to first.
He's got a somewhat predictable move. When he delivers, he either uses the slide step or he leans back, high leg kick. But when he goes to first, more straight and quiet.
2-2 pitch this time, and it's fouled to the backstop. Aiden Chin this postseason is batting 3 for 12 with a double, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitch, a strikeout, a steal, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs.
Making his presence felt early in these playoffs.
The 2-2 pitch once again, and it's high for ball 3. He was looking for a big drop on that curveball, and he just didn't get it.
Just lost the grip on that one. I know the feeling. It just flies out of the fingers.
Full count now to Aiden Chin. 1 out, Owen Roach at first. Pitch, and it's all the way to the backstop, and that's going to be a walk. Owen Roach was taking off like he was going to be able to steal a base, but he was getting that base for free, as it was. So Aiden Chin with his 3rd walk of the postseason, and 3rd in the past 2 days as well, as now coming up is the cleanup hitter, Jasper Reed, number 20, the catcher. First pitch, in the dirt, ball 1. So what is that you were talking about a situation you want your cleanup hitter to be in? I'm feeling a bit of deja vu here as we got runners at first and second with 1 out.
Hero.
1-0 pitch is in there for strike 1. Jasper Reed against Medford last time went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He'll be looking to put the ball in play one way or another today. 1-1 the count. Nestor with the pitch. Just outside, ball 2.
If he wants that curveball to be effective, he can't leave it high. He's not getting that call.
Doesn't seem to be the case, as the count is now 2-1. Nestor checks the runners and delivers. It's in the dirt, ball 3. Some nice covering by the catcher. And that's going to be hugely important today. Count is 3-1 to Reed. The pitch. He swings and connects on this one. Skies it out to center field. It's going back. Roach tags, and he takes off for third. Aiden Chin almost forgets to run back to first, but he eventually does, and he has plenty of time. And so we've now got runners on the corners with 2 outs. I'm feeling that deja vu again, because this is the exact same thing that happened when Nestor himself was at the plate as the cleanup hitter. And the number 5 hitter was able to get stuff done in the top half of this inning. We'll see what Brookline's number 5 hitter, the shortstop, number 15, Caleb McGrath, can do. And Nestor throws down to first, check on Aiden Chin, and Chin dives back safely.
A lot of space in that left field gap between the line and the left fielder. If he can hit one down the line, that ball is going quite the distance.
Nestor with the pitch, catches the low corner, strike 1. And you talk about the amount of space. I mean, with this East Boston Memorial Park, there's a lot of space everywhere in the outfield. It is hard to not leave a big gap, regardless of your formation.
Huge field.
The 0-1 pitch. He checks his swing, and it drops low and outside, ball 1.
I've been instructed to give special shout-outs to the McGrath family. They're all over the place. Maine, New Jersey, even Okinawa, Japan.
Absolutely. We love our international support as the 1-1 pitch comes in and is low for ball 2. And McGrath has certainly earned his following with the way he's hit this postseason. 6 for 11 with 4 doubles, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, 4 steals on 6 attempts, 6 runs scored, and 4 RBIs. As the pitch comes in, it's in the dirt, and it's blocked again by the catcher, but that'll be ball 3.
He's been spiking that fastball into the dirt. If he can stay on top of himself, he's going to be able to be a real problem for Brookline today.
3-1 the count. Nestor with the pitch, runner goes, hits a grounder over to third, fielded by the third baseman, thrown over to first, and that will end the inning. Brookline manages to get runners on the corners, but they aren't able to do any damage as Medford remains in the lead 2-0. We get ready for the top of the second as Grath a little slow to head back to the dugout. Was he holding his shoulder there? I couldn't quite see. What did you see?
I didn't see it, but he's clutching it right now, his left shoulder, holding that with his right arm. You know, he's a guy that's dealt with a couple injuries this year, and it looks like he's talking to Coach Bucci now on how he's feeling.
I know, seriously.
But for now, it looks like he's going to stay out there. Walking back to shortstop, second baseman Owen Roach remains at his position, as well as Rocco Shirty, so no changes yet.
Yeah, it certainly looks like he's decided to tough this one out. It makes me wonder if maybe he threw his shoulder out a little bit on that swing, because he was pulling hard, maybe aiming for that gap in left field that you were talking about, but couldn't get enough air under it, couldn't hit it quite hard enough, and it resulted in a ground out to third.
And the good news is that it's not his throwing arm. You know, that's a guy who threw 8 1/3 innings yesterday. That's a lot of pitches. So any, sort of tension or pain in your throwing arm would absolutely constitute him going to the bench, staying in as designated hitter. But he is going to tough it out.
And the last warm-up pitches are thrown. Catcher throws down to second, and we are ready to start the top of the second. Leading off for Medford, another lefty hitter. This is the first baseman, number 37, Ross Dyer. Jake Levin back on the mound, ready to get things started. His first pitch is in there for strike one. Dyer, of course, the starting pitcher the last time these two teams played. He threw 3 shutout innings before being relieved by Nestor. At the plate, he went 2 for 3. The 0-1 pitch. He fouls this one to the backstop. That'll be strike 2.
I said that earlier.
It's interesting. Levin's a guy that goes exclusively from the stretch. No wind-up action. You don't see a lot of guys in the MLB do that.
No. Levin sets, delivers the 0-2, swung on and missed. And that'll be strike 3.
He hit his spot there. You saw Jasper pounding his glove. He wanted that ball up high, and he got it exactly where he wanted it to be.
So that high heat delivers the first out on 3 pitches. And now coming up is the right fielder, number 8, Thomas Slow. Pitch from Levin is low and outside, ball 1. Slow, the last time he played against Brookline, he went 1 for 3 with a double. His team currently in the lead, 2-0. And the next pitch is in there for a strike. So the count will be 1-1 to Slow. As we've got a few raindrops out here at Memorial Park along with the wind. And the next pitch comes in, and it's in the dirt for ball 2. I'm here pulling out my umbrella, not for my sake. I don't mind if I get wet, but for God's sake, save the tech.
Yeah, do not want to get a broken computer.
2-1 pitch. Just misses the outside corner. That'll be ball 3.
That is a good look. Just missed the spot. That low and away fastball.
Levin with the 3-1 pitch. Just missed the low corner, and that'll be ball 4. So Levin still trying to figure out with today's official where his strike zone is, because that's another thing. We talk about getting used to new pitchers. You got to get used to, because the officials are human. You know, this is not me saying it to bash it. They are human, and so they're going to have subtly different strike zones. As now coming up with a runner on first, the extra hitter, number 27, Shane Grant. First pitch, swung on and missed, strike 1. Shane Grant, the last time he played Brookline, he went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Currently has 1 out and a runner on first. Pitch, catches the corner that time, that'll be strike 2.
Finally giving him the low strike.
Yes. Levin checks the runner at first. The 0-2 pitch. Misses high, ball 1. That looks like one of those curveballs that just didn't quite dip on him.
Yeah, almost tried to get him to bite at that high pitch, behind 0-2.
1-2. The count, the pitch from Levin is outside, and that's ball 2. That's one of those ones he just lost control. That might have slipped a little bit because Reed had to make a sliding move to his right in order to collect that one.
Definitely a misfire, but a good idea trying to go to the off speed in that 1-2 count.
Now 2-2 the count. The pitch catches the corner. They throw down to first. Pickoff fails, but they do get the strikeout. So second out, courtesy of a looking strikeout. And now coming up is number 0, the left fielder, Seppi.
And great job by Reed, able to keep that strike in the zone, get the call, and then still take his shot at first base.
Yep. And the fact that it was an outside pitch really sort of lended to one smooth motion.
It gave him that momentum towards the bat.
Levin with his first pitch to Seppi. He swings and pops this one foul down the right side.
We talked about yesterday how juicy that high pitch can be. A lot of guys will swing at it. We definitely are seeing that in this count early.
2 outs. Runner at first here in the top of the second. Medford leads 2-0 as Levin delivers the pitch. It's connected, sent out to left, and Golding charges in and grabs it. So that'll end the top of the second inning. Medford gets one man on, courtesy of a walk, but Levin puts down all other hitters, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Score remains Medford 2, Brookline 0 here in this championship game of the Lou Tompkins All-Star League Division A.
Definitely a cleaner inning for Brookline and Levin. They'll look to keep that going. You know, some early mistakes got them into some trouble, giving up 2 runs, but definitely got that stout defense back. Levin was hitting his spots, getting the calls he wanted, and Silverman will look to get things going for Brookline's offense.
Yes. As you say, leading off the bottom of this second inning will be Brookline's center fielder, number 22, Andrew Silverman. Following him up in the batting order today will be number 27, the designated hitter, Eli Rothman. And then after that will be the first baseman, number 6, Jack Martel, as head coach John Bucci getting ready to man his position over at third base as the third base coach for the inning.
Can't forget about first base coach, Dante Shergi, with his classic run behind the catcher, going to first base.
How can you forget the classics?
No, he's a good friend of mine. He was my first friend when I moved to Brookline.
Yeah. So now stepping into the box against Medford's starting pitcher Mike Nestor is Andrew Silverman. Pitch. High for ball 1. Silverman actually one of the guys who was able to get a good piece of one of Nestor's pitches the last time these two teams played. As next pitch comes in, catches the high inside corner for strike 1.
Silverman adds some really great defense out in center field, but he also offers a good deal of power at the plate.
1-1 pitch is low for ball 2. Last time Brookline and Medford played, Silverman went 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. He now faces a 2-1 count. Pitch, he swings and connects, sends a grounder past the third baseman, and this will go for at least 1. He's going to hold it first with a single down the left field line.
And he can thank the turf on that one. You know, sometimes a higher grass will slow the ball down, but you know, a hard ground ball towards the third baseman on turf, now that's not an easy play to make, and this time got by him.
Now stepping to the plate, the designated hitter, number 27, Eli Rothman, as they throw back to first, and Silverman gets back safely. Yeah, you know, you really think about it, the more even kilter of the field can make things easier for the fielders, but on those harder hit balls, it's going to come faster. As we got another throw back to first, and Silverman was a little too lax getting back, and he was testing it, but he does get back safely.
Got back in time, but no head first dive. He might want to reconsider that going forward.
Now Nestor with the first pitch to Rothman, catches the high corner, strike 1.
He got fooled this time. Nestor went to the plate, but Andrew went back towards the bag. You got to stay frozen on these guys.
Now the pitch, swung on and fouled to the, I'm not sure whether that was fouled to the backstop or whether it just got away from the catcher's glove. Either way, Silverman did not take off, and the result is an 0-2 count to Rothman.
A bit of confusion on Brookline's side. We heard a bat call at first. He went to the plate. Maybe a bit of crossing.
0-2 the count, and this one's in the dirt and skips past the catcher, and this one will be a wild pitch as Silverman trots it down to second. And that really opens things up for him as a base runner, because you talk about how much he was getting fooled at first base by Nestor's moves. Now he can take a comfortable lead off of second and be ready to take off if Rothman hits. The 1-2 pitch, and catches him with the low corner, strike 3. So Nestor with his second strikeout of the day thus far, as Now coming to the plate for Brookline, the first baseman, number 6, Jack Martel. Nestor checks Silverman over at second a couple times, and the batter calls timeout. Just throwing the pitcher off his rhythm a little bit, because he got that rhythm of look, now wind up and throw. But he calls timeout, he's like, no, look, and now I'm going to ice the pitcher.
Yeah, disrupting his routine.
Now the pitch from Nestor is in the dirt for ball 1.
Martel, you're definitely going to see him in relief today. Very strong pitcher, but he also is a good hitter, and that's why he's playing at first base today.
Currently facing a 1-0 count. Nestor checks the runner at second a couple of times. And we'll wind up in the pitch. High and outside, ball 2. You know what I liked? He looked back at second a second time. Silverman took another step further away from the bag, like, try me.
He is an aggressive base runner and not reckless. He's very smart, but takes chances in the appropriate situation.
The 2-0 pitch is in the dirt, blocked by the catcher this time, but that'll be ball 3. So Martel working his count well early here. He's another guy looking for his first hit of the postseason. In 3 games and 2 starts, so far he is 0 for 4 with a hit by pitch and a strikeout. He now faces a 3-0 count. And the throw back to second, and Silverman saw it coming the whole way and dashed back to the base safely.
Shortstop began creeping in. I don't see... He came behind Silverman. Wasn't able to see that, but got in.
3-0 pitch. Low and inside, ball 4. So Martel gets a free pass to first. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound between catcher and pitcher, as getting ready to step to the plate for Brookline will be the left fielder, number 11, and Brookline's lone lefty in the starting lineup, and that is Brage Golding.
Brage is the quickest guy on the team, and we see him lay down a lot of bunts. This situation doesn't necessarily call for that, but you can see the third baseman back in the grass behind the bag.
First pitch, and he goes go for a bunt, but he fouls it off, and that'll be strike 1. Like you said, Brage Golding, the real bunt master, and they are playing third baseman back. Make no mistake, if Golding bunts, it's not automatically a sacrifice. A lot of times it's going to be a base hit, but as it is, he's got a 0-1 count. Pitch from Nestor is high for ball 1. And the thing about Golding, he's got a bit of a clumsy swing sometimes, but when he gets good contact, he can slap it into places where nobody's at every once in a while for some clutch hits. The 1-1 in there for a strike. And you know what? They've got the first baseman charging in just in case. Probably because they want to have a guy covering third for the lead runner. 1-2, the count. Pitch. He swings and hits a high hopper into foul territory down the first base side.
It's an unconventional swing, but he definitely can deliver jobs. And if that ball stayed fair, that essentially would have been a bunt.
1-2 remains the count. Pitch. Way outside. That'll be ball 2. Brage Golding fighting here with a 2-2 count. 1 out, first and second. And Nestor steps off the bag to check the runner at second, and Golding calls a timeout and steps out of the box. Here in the bottom of the second, Medford leads Brookline 2-0. Nestor delivers the pitch. He swings and skies this one. Shallow center field. It's being chased by the center fielder, and he's under it. So a fly out to center field, not deep enough to move the runners, and that'll be the second out of the inning as we cycle around to the top of the lineup with the second baseman, number 1, Owen Roach.
2 outs, man in scoring position. Not a bad hand dealt to Owen Roach here.
checks the runner at second and fires. It's in the dirt, ball 1. Roach, his last time up, he walked and thanks to his teammates was able to make it all the way to third base, but he was stranded there. Brookline currently is off the board, trailing Medford 2-0. 1-0 pitch, runners go, he shows bunt, pulls back, the throw down to third, and Silverman slides in safely, and Martel advances to second as well.
And that bunt attempt was just a tactic to get in the way of the catcher in his delivery to third.
2-0, the count to Roach. Pitch. Catches the inside corner for strike 1. It's 2-1, the count to Roach, who now has runners on second and third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Pitch is high for ball 3.
If he gets his pitch, he will fire that.
3-1, the count. Pitch. He swings and skies this one. It's out to shallow left. It's being chased by the left fielder. Chase some more.
He's got it!
And he's got it. I couldn't quite see. The ump was in the way, but it looks like he laid out for that one in foul territory.
Great play by the left fielder there.
Yes, well tracked by Medford's left fielder, Seppi. And that ends the bottom of the second. Brookline threatens again, but not able to get the run in, and Medford maintains the 2-0 lead. And that's tough for Brookline, because if you squander the early opportunities you get, the pitcher will start to find his rhythm, figure out what works and what doesn't. You know, it's sort of like those old stories they tell from the World Wars, where the planes would come back and they'd see which ones came back, where the holes were, and they'd fortify every other area that besides the ones that were hit. You know, the pitcher's going to see, okay, this pitch didn't work, so I'll throw everything except that as we get ready for the top of the third.
And then on the flip side of that, batters get a better sense of what's coming when you have more information on a pitcher. You know, what he throws when he's ahead, what he goes to when he's behind. It's all information that, I mean, sometimes you'll see MLB hitters taking notes in a little notepad on what they saw, and just that is a huge benefit to the hitters.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see how things play out as the game marches on towards the top of the third inning. Score here at the Lou Tompkins Division A Championship is Medford 2, Brookline 0. Jake Levin taking back to the mound for Brookline, and he'll be facing the top of the Medford order once again. Leading off will be the center fielder, number 22, Zac Paolillo.
Make no mistake, we've got a lot of baseball left in this game.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going by the rate of yesterday's game, we got an entire game of baseball left. So Paolillo steps into the box. First pitch from Levin is just a bit outside, ball 1. Paolillo, his last time up, he drew a walk and was later caught stealing second. 1-0. Just a bit inside that time. Tried to fool him on the curve, but Paolillo wouldn't bite. So 2-0, now the count. Levin winds and delivers. Low again, ball 3.
3 pitches, all very good looks, but each one of them just barely missing the strike zone.
Paolillo demonstrating his plate patience, and the 3-0 pitch comes in, and this one's high for a 4-pitch walk. So Paolillo walks for the second time today, and we got a meeting out at the mound between Levin, Reed, and Bucci. Due up for Medford will be number 16, the second baseman, Sean Nestor. With no outs and a runner on first, a bit of a deja vu of the top of the first inning. Of course, this time the situation a little different as Medford leads 2-0.
Come on, Sean.
meeting at the mound ends, and Levin steps back on the mound. And Nestor steps into the box. The throw back to first base, and Paolillo dives back safely. Of course, Paolillo did try to steal his last time on base and was thrown out very well by Jasper Reed. Pitch to Nestor is high and outside, ball 1. Of course, Nestor, his last time up, he hit a single to left center that could have advanced Paolillo had he not been caught.
That off-speed pitch just slipped out of his hand. See if he can regain that control that he's been able to have in these first 2 innings.
1-0 the count, pitch from Levin. Catches the low corner that time, strike 1. He's just dancing around the line with those low pitches. Some of them he gets the call, some of them he just dips a little too low.
And that's where he lives.
1-1, the count to Nestor. Pitch, runner goes, swung, connected, grounder over to short, fielded by McGrath, thrown over to first, and he's got the batter. But on the hit and run play, Paolillo advances to second.
Great job by Caleb getting back into position. He was going to the second base bag, getting ready for a throwdown on the steal, but the ball hit to the right of him, and his ability to get back and make the play at first was just a great showing of defensive effort.
Now coming up to the plate is number 42, Matt Mitchell. 1 out, runner on second. Pitch. Catches the high corner, strike 1. Ump took a bit of a pause before he called that strike, and he kind of wondered, did he just miss the zone again?
Absolutely.
0-1 the count. Pitch, low and away, ball 1. Mitchell, his last time up, drew a 4-pitch walk, and later came around to score along with Sean Nestor on the RBI single by Barry. 1-1 the count. Levin steps off the mound to check Paolillo over at second. Levin with the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Reed, and that'll be a 2-1 count.
Great block by Jasper there. It makes such a difference to have a wall back there and Reed. It gives the pitcher a whole nother level of confidence in throwing that low pitch.
2-1 the count to Mitchell. 1 out, runner on second. Here comes the pitch. He connects on this one. He sends it out down the right field line. Looks like it's going to be in foul territory, and Shin can't catch up to it. So that'll fall harmlessly for strike 2.
Foul ball, but got a lot of power on that outside swing. You know, sometimes guys aren't able to get that same strength, on balls away, but definitely got that there.
So 2-2 now the count after the long flying foul ball. Pitch from Levin. He connects and skies this one. It's fouled down the first base line again, and Martel's got the catch. Up against the fence was Jack Martel, and he came up with a nice grab. Almost looked like an outfielder trying to rob a home run or something out there.
As a former first baseman, I can tell you that ball with this wind is not an easy play to make. He was up against the fence and then pivoted to his right foot and was able to make that grab.
So now with 2 down and a runner on second, up comes the pitcher, Mike Nestor. First pitch from Levin is high and outside for ball 1.
He's been throwing a lot of those first pitch high and outside fastballs.
Levin looking back at second, looking back again. The 1-0. Catches the high corner this time, strike 1. So 1-1 the count to Nestor. Pitch. He swings and skies this one. It's going to stay in the infield. It's going to be in foul territory and caught by Shorgy over at third. So the inning ends, although Medford was able to get a runner to second. And we'll get ready for the bottom of the third. Brookline was showing some action in the bullpen late in that half inning as they had John Kim warming up as a potential reliever. Levin has been facing a couple of jams early on in his performance, and he's given up a couple runs as Medford leads 2-0. We'll see if the Brookline offense can put a dent into that lead. Due up for Brookline. First up is Rocco Shorgy, then Aiden Chin, and then Jasper Reed.
That is a difficult part of the Brookline lineup to get through. And these are guys that really want to redeem themselves here. You know, they've been so great all season, down 2-0 right now. Rocco Shurgi is a guy that really battles to get on base, fouling balls off. There's never a quick at bat with Rocco. You know, it's never 1, 2, 3. It's always fouling balls left and right, and it's been that way since Little League.
Well, ironically enough, Shorgy actually, his last at-bat did go down on 3 pitches. But you're right that the typical at-bat for Rocco Shorgy is that he fights. He's got a good eye for the strike zone. He's got good resilience for fouling off pitches. It's part of why he was such an effective number 2 hitter in getting on base and setting up the meat of Brookline's lineup to knock him in. And of course, it was him who scored the go-ahead run yesterday on the ground rule double by Jasper Reed in the top of the 12th inning of it, what was supposed to be a 7-inning game. So Shorgy stands in to start the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch from Nestor, dips low, ball 1.
He's a great base runner too, and really has been so great in that 2 spot.
And the next pitch is in the dirt for ball 2. Two and 0 the count.
Good position to be in for Rocco.
2-0 pitch from Nestor. He swings and connects on this one, skies it out to shallow right. It's being chased after and caught by the right fielder. So nice catch out in right field by Thomas Slow of Medford, and that'll be the first out of the inning, as up comes Brookline's right fielder, number 16, Aiden Chin. First pitch from Nestor. Catches the zone, strike 1. Of course, Chin, his last time up in the bottom of the 1st, he managed to draw a walk after battling a little bit. This time, pitch is low for ball 1, so we've got a 1-1 count. One pitch is high for ball 2, so Chin making him work for his money once again.
Yeah, he's not one of those guys that's going to be swinging willy-nilly at that high pitch.
2-1 the count. The pitch catches the low corner this time, strike 2. 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 3rd. Nestor with the 2-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 3.
Good idea by Nestor there, going just a bit lower than his second strike.
Now the payoff pitch. Just low and inside, and Chin draws his second walk of the day. Nerves of steel on that one. I wasn't sure that was going to miss the zone myself, but that's why I'm not out on the field and why I'm out here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline to stay back on that pitch. Looked really good to everyone here, but just missed the zone.
So 1 out, and now a runner on first for Jasper Reed. Pitch. Down Broadway for strike 1. Reed, his last time up, he flew out to center, which was able to advance Owen Roach to third base as it flew out deep enough. And of course, yesterday he was the hero, coming up with the what turned out to be the game-winning score. As the next pitch is high and outside for ball 1.
Reed's a guy that can wreak some real havoc on a fastball. Don't be surprised if we get a ball towards the fence here.
1-1 pitch from Nestor. Drops into the zone for strike 2. You know, you say that, and I heard after the game that his ground rule double, it was darn close to these deep fences out here at Memorial Park. His pitch comes in and just doesn't drop in time. That's one of the things about those dipping pitches is the ump's got to judge when the dip happens, before or after the plate, and that time he said it was after, so the count is now 2-2. Pitch from Nestor, foul to the backstop. Reed now playing some defense here at the plate to make sure that he stays alive.
And that's 3 straight high curveballs that he's thrown. So we'll see if he goes for number 4 or goes back to that hard fastball he's been throwing all game.
High heat could make for some good deception here. Pitch, tries some low heat as he misses low for ball 3.
Yeah, you see a bit of frustration from Nestor there, spiking it into the righty's batter's box, just missing his foot.
So a full count now to Jasper Reed. Runner on first, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Payoff pitch, swung on and fouled down the 3rd base line. I've definitely seen Nestor get frustrated at other points in the game. I mean, when he gave up the tying run of that regular season game, he was livid as he went back to the dugout. And as a pitcher, you've got to be able to keep your cool. We'll see if that has any effect on him. Count remains full. Payoff pitch once again. Swung on and missed. And Reed goes down swinging.
And he didn't take a single look at first base. We've seen a couple pickoffs throughout this game. Not even paying any attention to Chin there. You could tell he was completely fixated on the batter, Jasper Reed there. Now Caleb McGrath steps into the box.
First pitch to Caleb McGrath. Curves in there for strike 1. McGrath, his last time up, grounded out to 3rd to end the bottom of the 1st inning. He's now got a runner on first with 2 outs. Pitch, he swings and sends this one out to right field. Right fielder is getting under it, and he's got the grab. So Brookline able to get a runner on first in the bottom of the 3rd, but a swinging strikeout and a pair of flyouts to right field prevent that runner from going any further.
And Jesse, something that we need to remember going forward is we saw a delayed steal by Aiden Chin there, and that can be particularly effective against those lefty pitchers because when you steal, you have to make a decision. Do I commit? Do I go first move? And with that delayed steal, it gives a whole new possibility. You know, you can stay back, see what he does, and then take off. So we might see a little bit more of that throughout the rest of this game.
I wouldn't be surprised to see some trickery on the base paths from Aiden Chin. First game of this team I covered this season, he actually was part of probably the craziest steal move I've ever seen, as it was him on first, Rocco Shorkey on 3rd. Chin just starts walking over to second base while the pitcher's not even doing anything. Eventually, halfway there, the fielders realize, and the pitcher tries to chase him down and tag him for some reason. And by the time he tosses to the second baseman, Chin was already past him and sliding into second safely. Meanwhile, while they were distracted, Shorkey darted for home and scored another run.
And that is one outcome of that kind of situation, but another reason why Chin will do that is sometimes the pitcher, he's standing on the mound and just gets flustered, doesn't step off properly, and that's a balk. Chin gets in safely to second, and Shorkey goes to home. I mean, it really opens up a lot of different opportunities, and a creative base runner can make things like that happen.
Well, Brookline will have to wait for their chance to pull off something like that, as it is not their turn on offense. They are on defense now here in the top of the 4th. Jake Levin returning to the mound, facing the first batter of this inning for Medford, and that is number 32, Aiden Berry. Berry, of course, responsible for the 2 runs Medford has scored so far. He had an RBI single last time. Pitch, and he fouls this one over the backstop. And that'll be strike 1.
Another fastball, up and away.
Berry steps back in with an 0-1 count. Pitch from Levin. Catches the low corner for strike 2.
Nice change up there. Took a little bit off of it. Came inside, low and inside. Exact opposite spot from the previous one.
0-2 now the count. The pitch. He swings and connects on this one. Sends it out deep to left field. Brage Golding tracking it. Into foul territory, or into fair territory. It was right at the line. Either way, it's a flyout. Nice tracking by Brage Golding, and as you said, he's got those wheels. That's a ball he can track down.
Yeah, the wind definitely makes things tough for both of these teams, but no serious adverse effects as a result of that. These teams are tracking down those difficult fly balls.
And now coming to the plate for Medford, first pitch in the dirt, and that's ball 1 to Sam McInerney. Number 9, the catcher for Medford. He's done a pretty good job blocking for Nestor behind the plate thus far. His last time at the plate, though, he flew out to center field to end the top of the first inning. 1-0 pitch. Just outside, ball 2.
Good looking pitch, just missed his spot.
2-0 pitch from Levin. He swings and connects, sends this one out to left field. Golding tracking it. Had to change trajectory with the wind there, but heads-up reaction by Golding as he catches another flyout.
He's one of those guys that doesn't always get the best reads, but just his athletic ability and quickness makes up for it. He can get to those balls easily.
Now coming to the plate, number 37, the first baseman, Ross Dyer. First pitch, catches the corner, strike 1. Now the 0-1, swung on and grounded under the pitcher's legs. He fielded at second by Owen Roach. He tries to make the throw and he can't do it.
Tried to pull a little Derek Jeter, jump across his body, get the play. He was able to get a glove on it, but just not enough power behind it.
Now, people who have followed my broadcasts, you know I can be harsh with my error versus hit calls, but there's no way I'm calling that an error. That was going to be an infield single unless he suddenly turned into Derek Jeter on the spot. And now coming to the plate for Medford is number 8, Thomas Slow. Pitch. He swings and connects, sends it out to center field. Silverman is chasing it, and he's got the grab. And that'll end the inning. So Medford able to get one man on base, but no further than that. 2 flyouts to the left and a flyout to center. Ends that half of the inning. Now coming up for Brookline, the guy who caught that last out will be leading us off, and that'll be Andrew Silverman. Following him up will be the designated hitter Eli Rothman. And then after that, the first baseman, Jack Martel. So Brookline's been able to threaten a couple times, as I think we've got a new pitcher. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Medford has made a pitching change. This will be number 42, Matt Mitchell, in for Mike Nestor.
And the only possible explanation for that has to be either pitch count or discomfort in the arm, because you can't put a much better performance on than what Nestor's done so far.
Yeah. Nestor, certainly one of the harder throwing arms, and he's certainly got a lot of talent and potential. It makes me wonder if it's one of those things where, like you said, they keep him on a limited pitch count. He's only allowed to pitch a certain amount because you got to save his arm for, what potential college career he might have after this.
Definitely, and I believe the restrictions are 35 for a day here in this weekend, and 95 across 2 days, something like that. So if he, made an impact yesterday and got them into this game, he was on a short leash regardless.
Well, either way, we talked about getting used to new pitchers earlier in this broadcast. Brookline switching from facing a southpaw to facing a right-handed thrower. So they're going to, just as they got used to that ball curving the opposite way from what they're used to, all of a sudden it's back from what they're used to, and As Master Yoda once said, you must unlearn what you have learned.
It is definitely difficult to adapt to a lefty, you know, for some reason. It's just very tough to get used to that left arm slot, and perhaps a righty coming in could make all the difference for Brookline.
We'll see if they're able to get that treasured first run across as they currently trail Medford 2-0 here in the Lou Tompkins Division A Championship game. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the fourth, number 22, Andrew Silverman. Mitchell's first pitch is high for ball 1.
New pitcher, but no absence of heat.
Now the 1-0 pitch. It's fouled off of Silverman's foot, and that'll make it a 1-1. That ball was ricocheting like a pinball off of Silverman's body, off of the catcher a little bit, bouncing everywhere but in fair territory.
That's right.
1-1 pitch. High for ball 2. Medford certainly got plenty of depth on the mound. Like you said, we got even more heat coming after Nestor left the mound. This pitch is in there for strike 2. Silverman now facing a 2-2 count.
Silverman just gave us one of his traditional head shakes. Usually happens before something big.
The 2-2 is high, out of the catcher's glove, but one of those situations where a passed ball is completely harmless.
And that was the first off-speed pitch we've seen from Mitchell here, and really wasn't all that close to the zone, so that'll be crucial for him to be effective.
Now the payoff pitch. He connects on it, skies it out to left, left fielder is under it, and he catches it.
High fly ball. We've seen a lot of those from Brookline today, and if they want to change the outcome of this game, they're going to start having to hit those line drives, those balls that, you know, create some fun on the base path.
Now at the plate for Brookline, their designated hitter, Eli Rothman, first pitch, in there for strike 1. You know, you talk about how they got to get those line drives, like square up or get over those pitches a little more. When they're working the high zone so much, that's got to be tough. 0-1 pitch. Catches the high corner again, strike 2. So Medford is loving the high part of the zone today.
It's difficult to get around that pitch. I could never do it myself.
The 0-2 pitch to Rothman is in the dirt. It bounced in the dirt about 5 feet in front of the plate and skipped over the catcher's head. But again, with no men on, that's just a harmless ball.
Yeah, Mitchell didn't seem too happy with the divot in the mound there.
1-2. Rothman checks, and the ball is high for ball 2.
Good discipline staying back on that one. The high pitch can get really good looking, and sometimes it's difficult to lay off of it.
2-2 the count. Pitch is high for ball 3. The other thing you got to wonder about those high pitches, because they're at eye level, you wonder if there's just a human instinct to just be like, oh gosh, it's coming right at me. You know, I got to swing at it. Rothman facing a full count. The pitch just low and outside, and that discipline pays off for the free pass to first.
It was a good-looking pitch. It may not have been where the catcher called for it because he had to reach across his body, and when you do that, you become susceptible for the ump to not like the look of that because the glove's moving all over the place.
Throw back to first, and Rothman dives back safely. And now stepping to the plate for Brookline, the first baseman, number 6, Zac Martel. First pitch from Mitchell, catches the low corner this time, strike 1. Martel, his last time up, he drew a 4-pitch walk and managed to go to second, but was stranded there as he now hits a chopper over to shortstop, fielded, thrown to second, and they just barely catch Rothman as he went for a headfirst slide. But the result is a 6-4 fielder's choice. So 2 down, runner at first for number 11, the lefty hitter, Rage Golding.
It's a difficult play that they made. Guy coming in hard from first base. You really have to be quick. Not a lot of time to react, and they got it done.
Mitchell with the pitch to Golding. He swings and sends this one out to right field. Right fielder's on his horse. It drops fair. This one's going to go for extra bases. Martel rounding third. He's coming in for home. Golding is speeding his way down to third base and comes in standing up for a triple. Martel scores the first run for Brookline. And check out the number 9 hitter, Rage Golding, with the huge triple to deep right field.
Everyone knows him for his bunting ability and his speed, but he has a sneaky amount of power. I've scrimmaged with this team a couple times, and he hit a ball 20, 30 feet over my head in deep right field. He's got that power.
Now the first pitch to Owen Roach. It skips away from the catcher, and Golding decides to hold because we got a short backstop here, and that gives the catchers some leeway.
Hey, if anyone could do it, it's the guy on third.
So stepping back into the box is the leadoff hitter, number 1, Owen Roach, with a runner on third and 2 down. That runner on third representing the potential tying run as the next pitch catches the low corner for strike 1.
A lot of inconsistency on what the low strike is.
Pitch. Catches the corner again, strike 2. Roach looking to get his first hit of the postseason and drive in the tying run here in the championship game. Pitch. Outside, ball 2. As I really do wish someone would shut off that car alarm. That's got to be distracting.
2 strikes here. You can see Roach choking up a bit on that bat, shortening his approach here.
The 2-2 from Mitchell. He fouls it to the backstop and stays alive.
It's not an easy pitch to hit, just fouling that off, back to the backstop. You got your wish.
Hey, you're right. They shut the car alarm off. 2-2 still to count to Roach. Pitch. Swung on and missed. And that'll end the bottom of the 4th. Brookline able to do a little bit of damage courtesy of Rage Golding with a big triple to the right field line that drove in Jack Martel for the team's first run. The score after 4 is Medford 2, Brookline 1. Jake Levin coming back out onto the mound to start the top of the 5th inning. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Jack Roach, bringing you the Lou Tompkins All-Star League A Division Championship game.
Needed that one in the fall, that's for sure.
Levin gave up 2 runs in that first inning against Medford, but since then he's settled in and shut them down each of the past 3 innings.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how deep he goes into this game. Coming in behind him will likely be either first baseman Jack Martel or currently on the bench John Kim. Both guys have been extremely effective all season, and things are going to get interesting down the stretch here. New pitchers, new faces, and it's going to be up to those guys to deliver in those positions.
In a happy enough coincidence, both Martel and Kim, their last pitching outings this postseason were both against Waltham, as Brookline faced Waltham twice in the elimination round.
Shane, drive that ball, Shane.
And both pitchers, as starters, they didn't pitch complete games, but they also didn't give up any runs.
Swing, Shane.
Leading off in the top of the 5th for Medford is Shane Grant. Levin sets, delivers his first pitch, and he gets under it, golfs it out to shallow right, and Owen Roach tracks it down from the second base position. So 1 pitch, 1 out. You know the pitcher likes that. And some good discipline by the fielders out in right field. You saw a few different guys chasing for that. Aiden Chin from right field, Owen Roach from second, Jack Martel from first. As we've got a pinch hitter here. First pitch from Levin is high for ball 1. I don't have the roster in front of me, but this is number 19, a left-handed hitter, and he's batting for Nico Sapillo. He swings on this one, sends it up the middle. That's going to drop in front of Silverman for a single to center field.
Great pinch hit appearance.
And now we cycle back to the top of the batting order for Medford with the center fielder, number 22, Zac Paolillo. Paolillo has been a dangerous, patient hitter so far. He's walked twice. And he's now got a man on first with 1 out. First pitch. Catches the corner, strike 1. Pitch, swung on and missed. So an early 0-2 count to Paolillo. A nice reversal of how his at-bats have gone previously against Levin. As I said, he's drawn a free pass 2 times so far. Levin checking the runner at first. Delivers, the runner goes, it's in the dirt, and Reed can't get a grab on it. And the runner steals second.
Fortunately for Medford there, ball in the dirt, preventing catcher Jasper Reed from making a play at second base on the steal attempt.
1-2, now the count to Paolillo. Pitch is high for ball 2. You know, that's more the kind of pitch you want to see when a runner's taken off, the kind of high pitch that allows your catcher to make the jump up right away and throw to second.
Definitely.
2-2 the count. Levin pitches, swings. It's a slow dribbler over to first, fielded easily by Martel. He steps on the bag. Number 19 advances to third. And there are 2 outs now. And now coming up is Sean Nestor. Nestor has moved from his original position at second base over to the shortstop position as the original starting shortstop Matt Mitchell has taken over on the mound for Medford. First pitch from Levin. Just outside, ball 1.
Both of these teams boast the depth of talent and just the ability to move from one guy to another position. It's really big.
Pitch to Nestor, swings and connects as a grounder over to short, fielded by McGrath, thrown to first, and he's got the out. So the pinch hitter, Evan O'Neill, was able to get all the way around to third base and threaten to extend the lead, but nothing doing as a pop out to second, a ground out to first, and a ground out to short puts an end to the top of the 5th inning. Score remains Medford 2, Brookline 1. Once again for ASPN HD, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside my color analyst extraordinaire, Jack Roach, bringing you the broadcast of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League A-Division Championship. As returning out to the mound for the bottom of the 5th is Matt Mitchell for Medford, the original starting shortstop. He has moved to the pitcher's position. As I said, Sean Nestor moved from second base over to short. Ross Dyer, the original first baseman, moved over to second to replace Nestor. And taking the spot at first base, the original starting pitcher, Mike Nestor.
Mitchell throws hard, but sometimes as a hitter, you can get used to that, and the pitch for him is really going to have to be that off-speed that he has had mixed results on locating, because if you're ahead in the count and you know what's coming, it is very easy to see the ball and hit the ball.
Well, we start off the bottom of the 5th inning with Rocco Shorgy. The first pitch is in there for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Mitchell delivers. It's low for ball 2. Shorgy, of course, struck out on 3 pitches his first at bat. Flew out to right in the bottom of the third. Now a 2-0 count. Takes the next pitch for a strike. And this at bat is officially going to be his longest at bat of the day. Unusual for Shorgy. He usually runs these long at bats. 2-1 the count. The pitch. He swings and grounds this one. Fielded at third. Thrown to first. And that's the 5-3 ground out.
He's really proven me wrong.
You know what? I think he's doing it just to mess with you.
Yeah.
He's doing it just to jinx it, as number 32, Aiden Barry, fielded the grounder over at third base for Medford and threw him out successfully at first. Now coming to the plate is Aiden Shin. First pitch, he swings and skies this one out to center field. Center fielder striking it back over his head. This is going to go for extra bases. Shin runs into second, and he holds at second with a double.
He got all of that ball. Shin is not a huge player, and maybe doesn't intimidate you when he steps into the box, but man, he sure has a lot of power. And now 1 out, man in scoring position. Here comes your cleanup hitter, Jasper Reed, who's been playing so well recently.
Jasper Reed, of course, the hero of yesterday's game, as he came up with a ground rule double that drove in Shorgy for the go-ahead run in the 12th inning. Now he comes to the plate, his team trailing 2-1, with Aiden Shin at second and 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And look at that.
And they gave him a free pass. An intentional walk to Jasper Reed, and he trots down to first to create the 4th. And you always wonder whenever that happens how the next batter feels, and that next batter is also a dangerous one, and that's number 15, Caleb McGrath. Pitch from Mitchell, high and outside, ball 1. Yeah, McGrath has been a master of those extra base hits. 4 doubles this postseason, including 1 yesterday that led to Brookline scoring its first run of that game. The 1-0 pitch, runner taking off for third. He skies this one, and the runner is going back as the pop out is to the pitcher. So it'll be a 2nd out. Shin was going for that aggressive base running there as he took off on the pitch, but it was skied into the infield for a failed hit and run. 2 down, and up comes Andrew Silverman. Pitch swung on and sent up the middle. Will this get past the second baseman? Nope. Fielded cleanly, thrown to first, and that ends the inning. Brookline threatens once again, but not able to get that second run in. Score remains Medford 2, Brookline 1, as we head into the 6th inning of play here at the Lou Tompkins All-Star League Division A Championship game.
You really don't want to squander those opportunities, and first and second, real good part of the lineup up, and I don't know what the call was from Coach, but you saw Chin breaking to third in a swing from McGrath. I don't know if it was a designed hit and run, but definitely some kind of effort to make things interesting, and unfortunately this one did not pay off for Brookline. You've only got 6 more outs left in this game if we don't have a repeat of yesterday, and you really can't waste a single one of those outs.
Watch this game go 14 innings now just because you said that.
I don't want to hear it.
Well, folks, for all of you watching and listening, you now know who to blame if this game goes into extra innings. It is my color analyst extraordinaire, Zac Roach.
Hey, that was the best game of the season. That was 12 innings of solid baseball, and if we have that again, that's I'm not complaining. I'd like to see the bats going for both of these teams.
You heard it here first, folks. Not only is he potentially jinxing this game into extra innings, he wants it. You know what? I'll jump on the bandwagon. I want it too. As much baseball as I can get. I'll take it.
I just want to see an exciting game. Both these teams have fought so hard to be in the position they are now. And, the pitcher's doing the bulk of the lifting through 5 innings. And, last 2 innings of the season for these guys, I would not be surprised if we saw a lot of action.
Well, we'll see if the action comes here in the top of the 6th. Leading off for Medford, their relief pitcher, number 42, Matt Mitchell. First pitch from Jake Levin. Swung on and skied it to the right side in foul territory and just bounces off the top of the fence. Jack Martel was chasing it from the first base position. He was looking for another grab up against the fence. Couldn't get it that time. It was bouncing out of play. So Owen won the count instead.
Tried holding back on that off-speed pitch, but ultimately just a tad bit too early.
Owen won the count, and Levin steps off the mound. Levin had a rough first inning, giving up 2 runs on the single by Aiden Barry. Since then, he's settled down and kept the Medford bats relatively quiet. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and grounded over to third, fielded cleanly by Shorgy. Thrown to first, clean throw, and that's an out.
And that's business as usual for Rocco over there. He plays such a great third base, and you know, when that ball goes to his side, you can feel confident in him making that play.
So with 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the 6th, stepping to the plate is Mike Nestor. First pitch just outside. Nestor was the starting pitcher for Medford today. He threw 3 shutout innings before being relieved by Mitchell. He's now playing first base. The 1-0 pitch. Inside this time, ball 2.
Levin's not afraid to come inside, challenge you. You know, some guys are afraid of hitting the batter, but Levin has clearly proven that is not the case.
2-0 pitch. Catches the low corner, strike 1. You could make a cubism artist very happy with all the corners that Levin is painting today.
That's the name of the game. He really lives there.
2-1 the count. Pitch, swung on and skied out to right center. Outfielders on their horse, and it flies over to Silverman. That was one where it looked like it might drop in between them, but between just a little too much hang time and a little bit of wind pushing it towards center field, I think it made it an easier catch for Silverman.
Yeah, off the bat, I thought it was going closer to right field towards Aiden Shin, but the wind pushed it towards Silverman.
So now up is Aiden Barry. First pitch, just a bit low, ball 1. Aiden Barry, the third baseman, number 32, and a lefty hitter, and responsible for all of Medford's 2 runs. 1-0 pitch from Levin is high for ball 2. His last time at the plate, he flew out to left field to start the top of the 4th inning. He's currently 1 for 2 today. 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3.
He clearly is not afraid to swing the bat against Levin. Hasn't gotten anything to do that on in this at-bat yet.
The 3-0 pitch. Catches the low end this time, strike 1.
I love that even on a 3-0 pitch, when you know he's not swinging, he still paints that inside corner, that low inside corner.
3-1 pitch from Levin. Swung on and fouled down the first base line, strike 2.
Hold the trigger just a bit too early. Let's see if he can slow down and wait for whatever's coming here from Levin.
It is impressive that Levin is still getting them off their timing, even this deep into his outing on the mound. Full count. Payoff pitch is low for ball 4. Just lost track of that one, I think. Probably not where he wanted to put it, as it was near the dirt. So Barry gets a free pass, and with 2 outs, we have a runner on first. Stepping to the plate is the catcher, number 9, Sam McInerney.
Levin's a guy that relies on finesse more than just overpowering the batter.
Pitch in the dirt, and runner decides not to go after Reed successfully blocks it. Skipped away from him for a second there, and he even had to sort of scurry around the hitter in order to track down that ball, but he was ready for a quick spin throw, and Barry decided not to risk it. 1-0 the count, the pitch. Low and outside, that'll be ball 2. Top of the 6th inning, 2 outs, runner at first. Medford 2, Brookline 1. Pitch from Levin. Swung on and connected. This one's going to go out to left center. This one's probably going to drop. It drops. It's going to the wall. This one might bring in a run. Golding is tracking it down all the way at the fence. This one's going to go for 3 bases. McInerney comes in standing up at third with a triple to left center as Barry comes in to score.
That ball was absolutely hammered, and here comes Coach Bucci either having a talk with Levin or potentially bringing in relief pitcher John Kim.
And that, again, was a quirk of this Memorial Park, as balls into the gap get you even more bases than usual. You don't often hear the words triple to left center because left field is closer to third base, but in that case, it went all the way to the wall, as we will have a pitching change. As after 5 2/3 innings, Jake Levin trotting into the dugout with his team trailing 3-1.
Really solid outing by Levin here. You know, just missed his spot on that last pitch, but otherwise really spectacular through almost 6 full innings.
Now taking over on the mound will be number 47, John Kim. And like I said, last outing Kim had was against Waltham this postseason during the elimination round. He got the start and got the win in that game, pitched 5 1/3 shutout innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
John Kim is a guy that's got some really electric stuff. He throws hard, he's got that good breaking curveball, but it's really all about the location here. Coming in, man on third base, and you do not want to allow that inherited runner to score because of mistakes.
John Kim definitely looking to control the damage here in the top of the 6th, as Medford has increased their lead to 3-1, courtesy of a triple to left center by the runner now at third base, and that's Sam McInerney. So now stepping to the plate is number 27, number 37, the now second baseman, Ross Dyer. 2 down, runner at third. Medford leads Brookline 3-1. Kim sets for his first pitch. Delivers. Drops low in the dirt, ball 1. Yeah, that's the one thing you were talking about. The one thing I always see every time I see Kim on the mound, he's got mad curve. Like a pitch will start like 10 feet above your head and it drops into the strike zone. When he gets that, it's money.
He's also got that high leg kick, so a lot of anticipation as he delivers that ball.
1-0, the count to Dyer. Pitch, and it's tipped for strike 1. Almost tipped into the glove. But either way, it counts as a strike, and it'll be a 1-1 count. Pitch from Kim. He fouls this one down the first base line. That'll be strike 2.
Another off-speed pitch. Didn't have that same break. Must have been a changeup, but when he throws a fastball, you'll know it.
Yes. That's the thing. Sometimes his pitches curve and sometimes they hang, and so it's like, which do you go for? 1-2, the count to Dyer. Pitch. Drops into the dirt for ball 2. Reed faked the throw down to third. There was no one covering the bag. And McInerney dives back almost unnecessarily. 2-2, the count to Dyer. Pitch. And almost hits him as it hits the dirt instead, is blocked by Reed, and that'll be ball 3.
Definitely not the spot that he was looking for. Into the lefty's batter.
Full count, Ross Dyer. John Kim with the payoff pitch. just a bit inside with a fastball, and Dyer gets a free pass down to first.
That was a pretty looking fastball. Just barely missed the zone.
And it looks like we got another pinch hitter. This is number 11 batting for number 8, Thomas Slow. First pitch is low, and the runner goes down to second, and the throw to second gets away from the second baseman, and the run's going to come in to score. So some aggressive defense from Brookline as they tried to throw the runner out at second, but Dyer successfully steals second, while McInerney scores on the throwing error. Medford now leads Brookline 4-1. 1-0. Drops into the zone. There was that curve. 1-1 now the count. Pitch. Just a bit outside. Count is now 2-1.
When you're playing from behind, there's just not any room to make those self-imposed mistakes.
Kim sets and delivers. It's low for ball 3. So 3-1 now the count. 2 down, runner on second here in the top of the 6th. And Kim decides to throw down to second, and they got him! Nice fake out pickoff play. They had Owen Roach, the second baseman, covering second at first, and he started to go back to his position, so the runner thought he had a safe to lead, but then Caleb McGrath snuck up behind him to cover second instead, and Kim made the nice throw for the pickoff play.
And the giveaway there was that John Kim, who typically has that big leg kick, just came perpendicular to the ground 90 degrees and then sharply turned and found McGrath waiting for him, able to get that out at second base.
And we've got another substitution on the mound, and it's Mike Nestor. He's back. Mike Nestor, who pitched the first 3 innings before being relieved by Matt Mitchell, now coming back after a 2-inning break, as Mitchell pitched the 4th and the 5th innings. He gave up 1 run as Brookline cut the Medford lead in half at the time. Medford has now expanded their lead to 4-1.
Sammy, 7th, 8th, 9th batter, Sammy.
I said earlier, the only possible explanation for him coming out was arm discomfort or reaching a pitch limit, and I guess I overlooked the third option, which was pitch, come out for 2 innings, and then re-enter, which is, you know, not a typical thing you'll see. I know that if you come out from the pitching position and then go to a fielding spot, you're able to come back in, but really not something we see all that much.
No. And part of what I wonder as the warm-up pitches come to an end is we saw him getting visibly frustrated at the end of his first stint on the mound, and you wonder if maybe they just took him off the mound to cool him down for a couple innings, recenter himself, and come back in. As leading off for Brookline this inning, number 27, the designated hitter, Eli Rothman. Nestor back for another pitch. In there for strike 1.
Rothman had a great game yesterday, some really timely hitting. We'll see if he can do that again today.
Pitch. Catches the inside corner again, strike 2. Nestor comes out dealing. Quick 0-2 count to Rothman. The 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging, mixed him up with the curveball, and Rothman goes down on 3 pitches.
He was fooled. He came in with those 2 really hot fastballs, and then all it took was a curveball to, have him flying.
And now batting for Brookline, the first baseman, number 6, Jack Martel. First pitch, curves into the outside corner, strike 1.
Nestor's working really quick.
Nestor coming out very aggressive in his second stint on the mound today. The pitch, that time it's low and inside, ball 1. And, you know, we talked before about getting used to different pitchers, you know, coming from the left and right side, and now they've gone left, right, left. It's like they're a boxer throwing a combo punch at you. The 1-1 pitch in there for strike 2.
Brookline is watching too many pitches go by.
Count is 1-2 to Jack Martel. 1 out, nobody on. Pitch. Oh, it catches the low corner. A delayed call from the ump. And he gives Martel the strikeout looking.
Brookline needs to take the bat off their shoulders. We've seen a lot of called pitches go by. And at a certain point, it's less about a bad call and more about getting used to the umpire's zone, because what's done is done.
Get off the field!
And I think some people might have come onto the field, like, or maybe they lost a soccer ball onto the field to play. That was confusing for a bit.
Time out for a minute, Blue. Time out for a minute. I got to talk to them.
And we got a brief timeout by one of the Medford coaches, as getting ready to come to the plate for Brookline with 2 down is Brage Golding. Of course, Brage responsible for Brookline's lone run of the game. Got an RBI triple back in the 4th inning. He is now up with no one on and 2 out. Pitch from Nestor. He bunts. It's going down the third base line. Is it going to stay fair? No. It took a rare, weird bounce off of the turf. You usually don't see the ball, you know, bounce in a new trajectory, but that time it went right, left, and then eventually just bounced foul down the third base line.
That was more the spin off of the bat than the actual bounce of the ball.
0-1 the count. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. Nestor gets a pitch he likes. Lines up for the 0-2. Pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him with the high heat. 3 up, 3 down, all on strikes in the bottom of the 6th. And as we get ready for the final inning of regulation, the score is Medford 4, Brookline 1. Once again, for ASPN HD, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Jack Roach, bringing you this Lou Tompkins All-Star League Championship game. As for Brookline, John Kim returns to the mound for another inning of relief work. Last inning, Brookline managed to get 2 outs pretty quickly, but then a 2-out walk and a 2-out triple by Sam McInerney drove in an insurance run and booted Jake Levin off the mound. And after that, another 2-out walk, and then a double steal resulting in a throwing error brought in another run before John Kim came up with a nice pickoff play at second base to end the inning.
John Kim really working that breaking curveball that maybe he wasn't able to use as effectively as he'd like. That's going to be big here, just trying to stop the bleeding and going into their final offensive appearance with a 3-run lead, or
3-run deficit.
3-run deficit.
Yes, and we'll be seeing the top of Brookline's order in the bottom half of this inning, but first, returning to the plate is the pinch hitter who was at the plate when the pickoff attempt was made, and that's number 11. Pinch hitting for Thomas Slow. First pitch from Kim. catches the high corner, strike one.
Pretty looking pitch.
0-1 the count. Kim delivers, and that one just hung high for ball one. When you see the ball just like rise 6 feet, you know that wasn't where he wanted that pitch to end up. 1-1 the count. Pitch. He can't get it to dip in time once again, and that'll be ball two.
And you can get yourself into some tough situations when you just let it hang. Hitters can really smack.
Swung on and missed on the next pitch as he decides to go with what seemed like a almost off-speed fastball there. Not quite his fastest throw, but still pretty straight. 2-2 the count. Pitch. And it's grounded down the third base line. This one's going to go for at least one. And he decides to hold at first as Golding tracks it down quickly in left field.
Come on, Sammy!
That ball just ricochets so quickly off the turf field.
And now coming to the plate, we got another pinch hitter.
Hit Sammy!
This is number 2, Sam Grant, batting for Shane Grant. One out, and no outs rather, and a runner on first. He shows bunt. He lays down the bunt on a pitch in the dirt. It's picked up by Reed, thrown to first, and that'll be the first out. Now, props to Sam Grant for committing to that sac bunt play, because that pitch dipped all the way into the dirt, and he practically had his bat up against the turf as he was laying down that bunt. Reed able to throw him out, but number 11 advances to second. And the first pitch is in the dirt for ball one to number 19, and that's Evan O'Neill. Next pitch, he hits a grounder over to shortstop, fielded by McGrath. He throws it over to third, grabbed by Shorgy, and he applies the tag. So a nice heads-up play by the left side infielders. Caleb McGrath fielding the grounder cleanly, realizing he had a play for the lead runner at third and throwing it over to Rocco Shorgy, who took a nice low throw. Those aren't always easy to grab, and he applied the tag quickly.
Just a base running mistake there by Medford. Sometimes you can get away with taking third on the choppers that are tough to field. That one right to McGrath. Easy play at third.
Now we're back to the top of the order with Zac Paolillo as the first pitch catches the inside corner for strike one.
And there's the break that he's been looking for.
0-1 the count. 2 down, runner at first. Pitch. He went with the fastball this time, and it's fouled off the left field side. Golding got on his horse, but had no chance at that one. 0-2 now the count. Zac Paolillo facing an 0-2 count against John Kim, who checks the runner, Evan O'Neill, at first. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and sent out to center field. Silverman lets it drop in front of him, and that'll be a single to center.
Good job by Silverman holding his ground. If that ball gets behind someone at this outfield, that will just continue to roll.
So now with 2 outs and 2 men on, up comes second baseman, number 16, Sean Nestor. Kim with the pitch. Catches the inside corner, strike one. Nestor has been all over the middle of the infield today. He switched from second base to shortstop and then back to second base. He now faces an 0-1 count. Pitch. He swings and connects. It's a grounder over to short, fielded by McGrath. He throws to second, and that'll end the inning. 6-4, fielder's choice gets the final out. And we head to the bottom of the seventh inning. This will be the last chance for Brookline. They trail Medford 4-1. The final hopes of their season now rest on their top 3 hitters, Owen Roach, Rocco Shorgy, and Aiden Chin.
Down 3 runs. They've got their final 3 outs of the season. This is going to be a comeback that they're really going to have to chip away at Nestor. You know, I don't see the one big hit like we had yesterday. This is going to be a gradual process. One guy gets on base, executing jobs, and just timely hitting. It's really difficult to elevate and just get a real good piece off of Nestor, who's been dealing all afternoon. So Brookline is going to have to play some really smart situational baseball to come back from this 3-run deficit.
And as you said, it is Mike Nestor returning to the mound. He pitched the first 3 innings of this game, was relieved for 2 innings by Matt Mitchell, and then came back out in a surprise move last inning. So if he completes this inning, he'll have 5 innings pitched today, but not consecutively, which, like we said, is an unusual situation.
Is it possible to get a win and a save in the same game?
You're breaking my brain here, man. Well, you're trying to turn this into the original Love Bug, where the little car takes first and third place. Well, either way, we'll see what happens in this final half inning of regulation, possibly the final half inning of the season here in the Lou Tompkins All-Star League. Owen Roach leading things off for Brookline. First pitch from Nestor. Just low for ball 1.
And when a better time to break out than now?
1-0 pitch. Swung on, he skies it over the backstop. That'll be a foul ball. As you say, Owen Roach still looking for his first hit of the postseason. He did reach base earlier today with a walk and was ultimately stranded at third. Pitch. Just low again for ball 2. Roach showing that patience early in this final inning. 2-1 from Nestor. Catches the high corner for strike 2. Slight off speed that time, not as fast as those screaming fastballs of Nestor's. 2-2 pitch now. Got him swinging on the curve. So 1 out. And now coming up is number 8, the third baseman, Rocco Shorgy. Nestor with his first pitch. Curves into the zone for strike 1.
And he really has full command of that off-speed pitch now.
Now the pitch, he connects, he grounds it over to second. It's fielded cleanly, but the fielder stumbles, throws first, and he gets him in time.
Backs to the wall here.
So very quickly, 2 down here in the final inning of regulation as Sean Nestor fielded that ground ball, stumbled a little bit, but managed to make the throw to first. And now the last hope for Brookline, number 16, Aiden Chin. Pitch from Nestor, swung on and missed. That'll be strike 1. He was trying to check his swing on that one, but couldn't hold it back. Nestor with the 0-1. Couldn't check his swing again, and that'll be strike 2. That pitch was in the dirt, but Chin just a little too overeager. Brookline down to their last strike. 0-2 the count. Pitch from Nestor. Swung on and missed, and there's your ball game. Your 2020 Lou Tompkins All-Star League A Division champions, Medford. They defeat Brookline 4-1. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Jack Roach, and we'll have a brief post-game wrap-up after this, so be sure to stay tuned. And I'm back at East Boston Memorial Park for the last time this season. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. The final score of today's game, Medford 4, Brookline 1. Some great pitching from Medford along with some timely hitting. But a valiant effort from Brookline as they kept this thing close and within reach throughout just about all of it. Just wanted to say some personal things before I sign off. This season has been incredible, such a great opportunity. I'll try and make my thoughts as well articulated as I can. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that has been afforded me by Brookline Youth Baseball, Coach John Busey, giving me this opportunity to be able to call these games. All the community, the parents, you've all been so supportive, more than I ever could have imagined. Couldn't be expressed better than in today's game. I had at one point over 40 listeners by the time this game ended. It was absolutely incredible. And finally, to the players who gave me great games to cover every single game. You're all a bunch of fine young men with great futures ahead of you. Keep up the fight, and thank you for a great past few weeks of some great summer baseball. I think we've all been missing sports so much, and I think we're all absolutely grateful that we were able to get what we could with this season. And to the Brookline team, I say this: stand tall and stand proud. You had a fantastic season, and you deserve the runner-up trophy you're going home with. For the last time for this summer, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, signing off. Have a good night, everyone.